Hey everybody, I wanted to share how I'm using ChatGPT with the Bible. Now, I was reading Genesis 15 here, and it's talking about God's promise to Abram to give him many descendants and to give him this land that he's in. And what's interesting is right in between this beautiful discourse between Abram and God is verse 17, which kind of sticks out as a sore thumb. It says, "Now it came about when the sun had set that it was very dark, and behold, a smoking oven and a flaming torch appeared, which passed between these pieces." And I read this and I'm like, what are these pieces? What is this about? So I head on over to ChatGPT. I type in what is the meaning of Genesis 15:17, and I learned something really interesting. So the pieces that's being referred to here are earlier in the chapter. There's some animals that have been sacrificed and they've been split in half, and opposite sides are laid of the animals on either side. And this points to a ritual in Near Eastern cultures that happened that would have been commonplace at the time, where people who took a solemn oath together would pass between the two halves of sacrificed animals to show their agreement to the commitment, and as a symbol of if either one were to break the commitment, it's almost saying like, may this be of me as well, like may I be dead and split into pieces as well, like showing the utmost level of commitment. Now, I further learned that you'll notice God's presence is the only thing that walks between those split pieces here in verse 17. Abram doesn't. So that further signifies God's unilateral promise and agreement that he's taking on this covenant himself, and it has nothing to do with Abram's actions. And so it shows us that God is the one who is going to fulfill this, and he's taking all the ownership, and he's promising that he's the one who's going to do it and come and see that it passes. So while this isn't a blanket statement we can say for all of God's promises in the Bible, it's really interesting, and it gave a lot of rich context for this particular verse. So what's the takeaway here? If you see something in the Bible that stands out like a sore thumb, don't just gloss over and be like, oh, that was weird. There's probably something there, and there's probably a truth and an insight that is very intentional and very impactful if you dig into it. So head on over to ChatGPT and use it too. I pray it blesses you.